Hello, my name is Kris Handler, and I am a violinist and violin teacher. Oh, but I'm not here to perform for you. I am here to read you a story with my trusty assistant, Pid. Pid! Pid! Ah, Pid, we're here to read a story to all these kids here. And it's called A Violin for Elva by Mary Lyn Ray and illustrated by Tricia Tusa. But before we get started, I want to tell you something. You see, when I was a kid, yes, I was a kid one time. Yes, I'm sure I was a kid one time. Anyway, when I was in 3rd grade, somebody came to my school to teach violin to anyone who wanted to learn how to play violin. It was really great. In fact, that's why I still play violin. So I thought I should do that, go to schools and give kids the opportunity to learn violin. The story I'm about to tell you is about a woman that always wanted to learn how to play violin, but she didn't get that opportunity. Yes, that's sad, but don't worry. It's a very inspiring story you should see, because I think the message is that it's never too late to follow your dream. And I believe that to the bottom of my heart. Anything you want to do, you should follow your dream. So this is a really great story, and I hope you enjoy it. Shall we get started? Okay. A Violin for Elva. Above the ruffle of talk and rustle of dresses. Looks like a garden party, and Elva is listening outside the gate to something. I wonder what she's listening to. I think she's listening to a violin, don't you? Later, she didn't say she had been watching through a hedge. All she told her parents was, "I want a violin." She asked them both. She asked with pleas, but they hadn't heard what Elva heard, and they said no. Yes, that's sad. I agree. So she pretended. Looks like she pretended with a tennis racket and a branch. When she should have been brushing her teeth, Elva was rehearsing for recitals. Looks like she's sitting in the sink, watching herself in the mirror. When she could have been learning subtraction, or should have been going to sleep, she was playing music only she could hear. Summer, autumn, winter, spring, Elva played. And Elva grew. She outgrew her sleeves, outgrew her shoes. She grew until she was a grown-up. Oh, that's a long time, don't you think? Wow. And outgrew her violin. Well, I think it was an imaginary violin. She never got her violin. Now she had a briefcase and a job. She had appointments and important meetings. She's a grown up now. But if she saw a page of tremulous music, she remembered what she once had wanted. What are you doing, Pid? Oh, why, yes, this is music, just like we were talking about. Okay, put that away. I'm much too busy, Elva said, though she began to borrow records from the library downtown. What now? Let me see. You know, these are CDs. CDs, they're kind of like records, but they're smaller and they play on CD players, not record players. Anyway, where were we? At home, she listened to the records and then felt. What are you doing, Pid? Oh, wow. Thank you. Well, where did you get these? These are all my old records, my favorite ones. Oh, wow. I loved these records. Wow. I haven't seen these in a really long time. So let's show some of these guys what a record looks like. Because I bet a bunch of these guys have never seen a record before. Pretty big, much bigger than a CD. And it's very thin, and it's got tiny, tiny grooves. This would go on top of a record player and spin around, and a needle would go in the grooves, and sound would come out and play music. It was like magic. It was amazing. Oh, I just loved it. Anyway, here's a picture of her record player playing the record. And when she would play the music, she felt she had picked up her violin again. Wow. In her head, she's a really good player, isn't she? Yeah. Sometimes she was the whole string section of the Philharmonic. All those elbows going up and down. Other times, she played alone. But the music stopped and the record stopped, and silence filled the room. It's okay, Pitt. It's okay. Elva had a dog for conversation, but conversation with her dog couldn't cover up the quiet. She kept chocolates for refreshment, but yes, I love chocolates too. Yeah. But chocolates couldn't fill the empty feeling. Well, I have things to do, said Elva, and she did them. So summer, autumn, winter, spring, the years went by, Elva had many satisfactions and achievements. Only one was missing. I'm too old now, she told her dog. And more she kept imagining what might have been, until one day she took a breath and took her purse and bought a shiny, fragile, varnished. Hey, what are you doing? No, we've had this discussion before. This is too big for you. No. Put that back. Where was I? She took her purse and bought a shiny, fragile, varnished pid. Well, where'd you find that? In the Christmas box? The ornaments? Well, it is the right size. Okay, we'll start lessons tomorrow, but not right now. We're reading a story, okay? So she bought a shiny, fragile, varnished violin. Look how happy she is. Finally, she got her violin. At home, Elva studied how to hold it. Then she lifted it against her shoulder and clamped it with her chin, probably a lot like this. She pushed the bow across a string. Squeak! She tried again. Squeak! No. So Elva tried something else. She drew the bow back towards her, and the strings sang. A single note was not exactly music, but it gave her expectations. Feeling bold, she tried a different string. The bow bucked. The dog slid under the sofa. But Elva played her one note again and was encouraged. I will improve, she said. But she didn't. No. She did not improve. Oh, make it stop. It wasn't easy holding the bow correctly, landing on the right notes, figuring out flats and sharps. I will improve, she said. But still, she didn't. So Elva sadly snapped the case and put away her violin. Don't be sad. Then one day she heard that Madame Josephina was accepting beginning violin students. Yes, it's very exciting. And again she took a breath, took her purse, and bought a course of violin lessons. Every Tuesday and every Thursday, Elva came to Madame Josephina. On days between, she practiced. Well, of course she had to practice. And no, it doesn't matter if she was a grown-up. She still had to practice. Yes, I'm sure. Then there was a recital. All the students had to perform on stage. Everyone was nervous, especially Elva. But she drew the bow against the strings, and in that moment, something happened. Elva was making music. she's getting a lot better now, isn't she? She came right home, and lifting her violin, she played for her dog. And then she played again for herself, and again, and again, and again. Until at last Elva kissed her bow and went to bed, imagining all the tomorrows and all the music there was to make. The end. Did you like that? Yeah, I did too. Oh, you want to read it again? And again? And again and again? Well, I guess we're going to be reading this again and again and again. Maybe you'll want to find this book and read it again and again and again. I hope you enjoyed A Violin for Elva, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.